Okay, members and friends, I got spam bopped on my message board here. Alright, I had to lock everything up, do a whole bunch of reading. Now I gotta come in here and delete 18,000 posts. But I'm figuring it out. Alright. Oh, hold on. We got to select them all. And then we delete them. It's all spam. I'll show you something here. Here it is. I've already started. Look at that. It would be nice if I had that many real members. There's like only 2 or 3 of us on the board. The rest of them are spam bots. Spider bots or whatever they're called. And they came in a day and a half. 2 days, that's what they did. Now I have to go in there and figure out how to take care of this problem, which I'm working on. Where are we? Here we go. Oops. We want to delete. And then it just goes from one problem to the next problem. I've been deleting these things out of here too. Right? Because we gotta get a handle on this. Okay, members and friends. We're in Vancouver, downtown, British Columbia, Canada here. I'm going to the Supreme Court of British Columbia in Vancouver. And I'm hooking up some lawyers today. I got one for the defense and one for the crown. We got some goods here that are at a discount price, right? No, really, I'm just passing on some information to my nonprofit because I need some help here, right? There's some things that, you know, some educated people need to look at, and, you know, maybe 1 out of 2 or 2 out of 2 or whatever it is might you know, help me out somewhere down the line. So in the meantime, though, I am checking out this court case. It's a mother suing the Ministry of Children and Family Development for the wrongful apprehension of her children and then the wrongful placement of those children. And at the same time, the last time I came to this courthouse, they had the Surrey 6 trial going on. So I don't know if that's going on, but we'll find out when we get there. So let's go. Come on. Court now. We're going to go inside. We're going to see if the 36 trial is on. Maybe we'll pop in there. I don't know. Because we're going up to the 7th floor. And like I said, you know, one for the crowd, one for the defense. And then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to listen to the trial. Anyway, we'll be back.
Okay, it's on.
All right, members and fans. So we just left the courthouse. And it's going to go on for another couple more weeks. I don't know. One of these social workers, she kind of seemed like a doofus. Even my daughter said, what's wrong with that woman? And I'm like, well, I don't know. It's amazing she's a social worker, though. But, you know, still a little cagey, right? So, it's going to go on for a couple of more weeks. I'm going to see if I can make it down a few more times. And then after this is over, since we're downtown Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and the Surrey 6 trial is up in here, we're going to come back and we're going to do some follow-up on that as well. You know, we got This stone was laid by the Honorable William Richards Bennett, Premier, Province of British Columbia, June 24th, 1977. Can you imagine that? So maybe I'll go home and do a little bit of a commentary, but for now, it's we'll talk to you soon. Okay, members and friends, as you can see, I went downtown today. And I'm going to just keep up with these videos, right? Now, I don't know what kind of people they got working for the Ministry of Children and Family Development. That's my sick daughter. Thank you very much, social workers. Can you hear that? Anyway, this lady was playing with a ball of yarn. I had to do a double take. I'm like, did she really bring a ball of yarn to a Supreme Court to wind it up like an old maid? Right? And she even took it onto the stand where you testify, because I seen the string hanging while she was waiting for the judge. And I brought my 15-year-old with me today, right? And, went for a break. And my daughter was saying, like, who is that lady? And I'm like, well, that's the social worker, right? She says, no, it can't be. And I'm like, yeah, that's the social worker. And she goes, she's kind of like, ditzy, right? I'm like, yeah. Now, I've seen 2 social workers on the stand testify. And all I heard through most of their answers in the 2 times that 2 different individuals on 2 different days on this particular court case, I don't remember. Could have been, maybe. I don't remember. There was more than one person on the file. It could have been me. I don't know. Yes, I think it was. Oh, yeah, and no, I wouldn't change anything that whatever it was that I chose to do at that time. I wouldn't reconsider it in terms of changing the protocol, as even though I can't remember 3/4 of what you asked me, right? Really, if you look at it, that's what it kind of boils down to, right? Pushing into 2/3 anyway, right? It's more than half the time they can't remember anything, right? It wasn't them, or this one just didn't take very many notes because they were going through the notes, right? And she said, well, I got in the car, but I guess I didn't write the notes. Okay, well, I didn't finish the notes. Yes, he could have been there, he should have been there, but it's not in the notes. Really? And I'm like, okay. No. I was really tired today, so I was kind of like this, listening, quiet, because the last time I went, I was hacking because I got caught up in that Fukushima radiation rain, right? So when I went for the first time, I was really, really sick. This time, both I and my daughter, we kind of got lulled to sleep with the questions, and we weren't sleeping, we were just, listening. And, yeah, the judge called a little break there, right? And, walked around, came back, sat down, and that lady with the ball of yarn, she says, well, in terms of, can anybody go into the courtroom? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a public, it's a public event, right? It's public. It's a public issue, right? The sheriff asked me if my daughter knew what it was about in terms of, children being molested. And I said, yeah, she knew. I told her the gist of what the lawsuit was about. And basically it's, a mother having concerns that her children were being abused. It came to the attention of the ministry, and instead of listening to the mother, the workers decided to side with the father and then deem the mother, unreasonable and unmanageable and, psychotic and all these other things because, she was reacting to nobody listening to her, right? And, well, the father has apparently, I haven't seen the father, so I don't know who he is, but he has lots of charisma, right? So he charmed everybody, He pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. All the social workers, all the female social workers must have fell in love with him or something because everybody sided with him. And so he had the kids and, and that just caused more grief for the mother. And then they were having issues with placement because, there was 4 children involved, and that's a lot of children to keep together in one roof, right? And so, but the thing that I'm finding disturbing, just watching, whether I'm sick or dozing, just listening, right, is that they don't, we don't remember. Could have been, maybe. Yeah, I think so. No, I don't know. But I wouldn't change a thing. And it goes to that pattern. Okay? So, and even the notes are incomplete. Right? But they're sure they were there. That person was there. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now. And, I'm there to, I gave some information to my nonprofit today. Because I'm looking for some lawyers to, maybe just, there's this nonprofit, it needs lawyers, right? It needs some kind of lawyer. It needs more than one lawyer, that's for sure. I know that. I already have a lawyer. I have one lawyer. I have a trademark lawyer. But that's a trademark lawyer. That's a different kind of lawyer, right? Because there's some stuff we want to do in the States and stuff, right? So we need lawyers for that. And when you talk school meal programs and, those youth programs and recovery programs and nothing's changed. They may have taken Andre away from me, right? And the family and the kids and everything. But at the end of the day, the nonprofit still remains the same, even though it's pending. It's all pending. Well, I've got some pending lawyers now pending with the nonprofit because this fella that I gave the nonprofit information to is not the first lawyer that I've given the information to. So there's more than one lawyer out there that has that information. So that's a good sign, right? But more on a personal note, I kind of learned a little better how to file things, right? I made this for my lawyer. Well, actually, I made it for 5 lawyers. Well, 4. I kept a copy for myself. Here's my little grandson. I got this thing for books, right? But that's not, there's 5 sets in here. Here's my little grandson. That's it right there. And it's just pictures right now. Just pictures. One for my lawyer. One for the judge. One for the prosecutor that likes to act like it's the Crown. I learned today that the Crown is a criminal prosecutor, whereas a prosecutor that just works for the provincial government is just a lawyer. Shh, quiet. So we got one for the lawyer, one for the judge, one for the provincial lawyer, which is the prosecutor, one for the father's lawyer, and this is my copy. Because mine, my daughter's lawyer can look at through me and my lawyer. And if he really wants to be an asshole, I got a set for him too, but don't forget that guy is on the chopping block. We want to fire him, right? But it's probably better just to keep him around for a while. So if he really wants to look at the pictures, the 3 lawyers, they all stand on one side and the prosecutor stands on the other side, so there's still 2 books for them to share. So just by going to that court and witnessing it from the first time I went, not from the second time, but from the first time I went, I learned how to log this kind of stuff a little more better so that when I hand it in to my lawyer, it's easier to read, right? And because I'm doing it this way, I know that the provincial government probably wouldn't want to photocopy in ink, right, with color. These are my little grandson. They're not going to want to photocopy that because they don't want the evidence that my little grandson was happy. God forbid that they took my little grandson from a happy home. God forbid that my little grandson was thriving, right? Look at that. I mean, what little boys get to do that at age 2, 1.5 years old? My little grandson was a happy little boy. He's pretty confident for himself, too. You wouldn't recognize him today, though. So, because I know that provincial governments would only maybe at best photocopy these in black and white, well, I made sure everybody got it in color. And because I have gone to a court case where there's somebody suing the Ministry of Children and Family Development on a Supreme Court level, I looked around and I kind of figured out how to log this shit, right? So that it reads nice when these lawyers get it. So yeah. After this trial, we're going to go back. My daughter came with me. She's going to come with me again. You know, I said to my girl today, I said, we need to bum rush this, you know, the judge. Like when we, you know, when we went for Andre, we went as a big group, right? First it's me, then it's the daughter, then it's me and 2 daughters, then it's me and my 2 daughters and my son. Judge will be... But, no. After we're done with this, which will go on for another couple, 2, 3, 4 weeks, depending on, you know. The Surrey 6 is there, downstairs. And that's going on for a whole year. So I guess I'll have to talk about that too. But for right now, it's about my little grandson. So, we'll be back.
Looks good. You did a good job.